Welcome everyone to the Weird Name Pod. Today we have a good person. That's one way to put it.
Wow.
Yes. And who do we have?
Ethan or MasterEth on YouTube.
And what would you say your channel is?
Analysis videos.
And also, is that like the main thing you do, you would say?
Yeah. It took a while for me to figure that out.
Yeah.
But for sure at this point, yeah. It's what I love to do, so. Yeah.
For sure. And basically on this episode today, we don't really have anything planned, so we're kind of just going to see where it goes, I suppose.
That's fair.
Yeah. And so
usually those are the best conversations for
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
reason.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Because you go on these weird tangents and then it's like, how did we end up here? Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's actually kind of what happened with when I brought the two Gabes on the podcast. And we
Right.
were like, I don't know what we're going to do. And then we just started talking. And 2 hours later, you know,
Yeah.
that's how that went.
I mean, is there a reason you got three Gabes on? Are you sure it's not any deep, dark, narcissistic tendencies or anything like that?
Conspiracy theory.
I'm the next Shane
Someone-
Dawson. What?
Yeah, there you go. Maybe you could like make an analysis video saying, what is the real reason?
That's definitely a side channel video. I don't know
A
if I
side
would want
channel?
to spend a month on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But
Kind of just like a one take thing. It doesn't even matter if you mess up your
Right.
lines. Definitely.
Yeah. As for my extra channel has been super active since like it takes me forever to make videos now.
Oh yeah, I've noticed. Like you post like it's kind of like a kind of vlogette kind of channel where you
raw
post like every
vlog,
couple
yeah.
days.
I mean, I do this series called Thursday Thoughts where I just turn on the camera and like talk. And that's been nice for sure.
Yeah.
And especially it keeps up with like the community and everything because it's like then people don't know that I'm like dead because I don't post for a month. Because like if I'm
yeah,
very
for sure.
active on my side channel, then they know, oh right, he's still doing stuff. He's just, yeah. So community is important. I know this
Indeed.
because I have my own Discord server, which is I'm sorry, I bumped the mic. But yeah, my Discord server is amazing, and I love the community that we have there for sure. I think it's helped a lot.
yeah.
I think in general, it's good to take your YouTube community to a more like centralized place, and I think Discord is almost the perfect place for that because you can do a lot with Discord for sure.
So like what? Because I'm like probably the only person on the internet who doesn't really know or have Discord in the first place. So like, what exactly is it? Aside, because I think it's like a communication thing, obviously, but I'm not sure exactly how it works.
It's tough to explain because in some rooms you can have chats, and in some rooms you can have voice chats.
Oh, for a second
but
I
it's
thought you were going to
basically-
say in some rooms you can have chats, other rooms you can have snaps.
I mean,
Complete
send
ripoff.
pictures, but like, well, eh. But it's weird because it's like you have this like main hub, which is like the one chat you select, but on the left you have all these other chats, whether it's like the rules or the announcements or everything. So it's weird because it's different from anything else. It's kind of like those old chat rooms back in the day, except it's more organized and you can have more of them in one place, like more chat rooms. And so a lot of different YouTubers and people have their own Discord servers, some of which are toxic, and they're just like no rules engaged, and you can just tell with the chat. But not mine. Like I have a lot of rules in place that kind of keeps it wholesome and family friendly.
Of course.
I guess is the meme you could say.
Not in-
I don't like using the word family friendly anymore because it's been so misconstrued into a meme.
yeah.
So that's
That's
why
true.
I say clean content, because family friendly. I'm not Ryan Toy Reviews, so like
Oh yeah.
it's weird though, because I feel like anybody could watch my video and get some enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
So
for
it's
sure.
like, what is my audience? Like obviously children, because children watch YouTube the most.
Of
'cause
course.
they have a lot more free time than certain people, but you know.
Yeah. Family friendly is just such a weird term in general.
That's fair.
like I always think of, I don't know, PBS Kids or something, family friendly.
Yes.
And
I
it's
loved
like,
PBS Kids.
and your channel is completely like not that. So
I know. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not trying to be PBS Kids, right? But it's this weird thing of like, it's this weird mixture, cause like it's not extreme adult content, right? But it's not like childish at the same time. So it's this
Yeah.
weird middle ground. It's kind of like Blimey Cow in a way,
yeah.
where
I would
it's
say
like
so.
it can reach a lot of different kinds of people.
It's just like the only thing that makes it like quote unquote family friendly or clean or whatever is just that there's no cuss words. Like that's the
That's
only
fair.
thing.
Or like
So,
or discussions about like
anything inappropriate.
borderline in it. Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
That's fair. Yeah. There's already so much. I keep touching my script. I need to stop. There's already so much of that kind of content already on the internet. So it's like, I didn't want to be that, you know? And I don't think I ever will be.
Yeah.
But it's this interesting thing for sure. But the thing with the internet is you can do like whatever you want. There's good and bad to it, but just the freedom on the internet is very nice because a lot of different people can like express themselves in their own creative way, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, speaking of, this was like a couple minutes ago already, but like speaking of like the old chat rooms and stuff, that actually reminded me of something I haven't thought of in a while. Like when one of my birthdays, I don't know what it was, maybe I was turning like 10 or something, I don't know. I think my family like let me have their like laptop for an hour or whatever and just chat with my sister on Yahoo Messenger. It's like, I don't know what it was, but like something about Yahoo Messenger, at least at the time from what I remember, was just like oddly fun. Like they had these weird moving emojis that spoke or something. I don't even know what it was, but
Wow.
for some reason that was like a half birthday gift or whatever. It was just like something at the end of the day. Okay, now you can go on Yahoo Messenger and they'll end your day. I don't even know what that was.
Interesting. Yeah, I never used that. It's weird because like
Yeah, it was also like my parents' account anyway. But
got it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because I wouldn't want to be born now. I'm kind of glad I was born when I was like very early 2000s because half of my life I wasn't on the internet that much, and now I'm on the internet every day, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of glad I didn't grow up with like an iPad in my hands, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It's so weird to think about how we were kind of born like right before that era.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I still played video games. I played my PS2 a lot, played a lot of those classics, which
Of course.
I was actually playing Sly 3 today a little bit, and that was fun. There's always just, like, something about the old classic video games where it wasn't graphics, 8K graphics. It's a lot more story based. Like it seems like the writing is usually better in a way because that's kind of what it had. Like sure, it had good graphics, but that wasn't the main point. The main point was telling like a good interactive story. You know?
Like actually just recently I kind of I guess rewatched because it came out a couple years ago. This guy Chris Stuckman who does movie reviews, he also does like game reviews here and there. And I think it was talking about the new Spider-Man game. I don't remember what it was called though. But it was talking about like how lots of games nowadays are like more focused on like the technical aspects and stuff, and it's like, oh, you need all these DLS or whatever it's called. I don't even know. DLC. There you go. Can you tell I'm not a gamer?
I'm not really either, but I like the occasional game every once in a while.
Yeah, but it was like how everything's kind of really serious, and it was cool that, you know, when he reviewed the game, he was talking about how it was just genuinely something that was fun for once rather than just a serious kind of, oh, technical this and whatever.
Are you talking about the one on the PS4?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
It's good. I
Yeah,
gotta
it's pretty
check
fun.
that out at some point. I don't have a PS4, that's why I haven't played it, but
I got one for Christmas, so that was cool.
nice.
And because of that, I was actually able to play Kingdom Hearts 3, which is like my childhood game.
Mm.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah, I have an undying love for that game, even though the third one has its problems that I do acknowledge, but I still enjoy the game for what it is.
For sure. I think I only played. I don't remember if it was like the first or second one. Maybe it was the first actually. It was just when I was really young. I remember there was. I don't even know where it was. I think it was in, oddly enough, an IKEA. I don't know why, but they had like this little. I doubt they have this anymore, but they had like this little game section or whatever where you can drop your kid off, and they have like this little table with different monitors or whatever, and you can play games. And one of them was Kingdom Hearts, and some about it wasn't set up right because like all it was this little dark room with the characters there, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Dark room.
I don't know if
Interesting.
I have no idea. Honestly.
I can only think of like
That's
the
all I
cave
remember.
from the first island, but I don't. Nah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Huh. That's weird, but
interesting.
it reminded me of those old McDonald's games where it was like in the weird cabinet type thing
Mhm.
with the controller sticking out, where it's like you couldn't like take the controller away because it was connected to this weird.
Oh yeah,
box
I've
thing.
seen
Yeah.
those too.
That's
I
what
think
it reminded
I
me
think
of.
I played Shrek 2, the video game, on one of those.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64 was a popular one, and then there was another football game for the 64 or something, I think. It was those really old ones though, which I always found interesting. I didn't understand why it was always the 64, you know.
Yeah.
I never understood the connection between McDonald's and Nintendo, besides like merchandise, toys, and Happy Meals occasionally. But
I feel like there had to be some kind of deal there going on.
yeah, that actually interests me now because I never
'Cause
thought
why
about that.
Nintendo?
Right,
Like only
yeah.
Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And of course, I was a child at the time in the play place, so of course I wasn't thinking about that, right? So, but thinking about it now, it's like, oh, that is weird. I wonder if that was intentional, or if they were like, hey, let's just add this without Nintendo knowing. I don't know. It's this weird thing because of the box. The box is so like specifically unique too. So I don't really know, but it's just interesting to think about.
Maybe it's just like their way of brainwashing us to get Nintendo into our heads at an early age.
Yeah, even though I'm not that big of a Nintendo fan.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, no.
There you go.
I
That
mean,
was their experiment,
yeah,
and
there
now
are-
they found out it didn't work.
there are a few Nintendo games that I really, really like. Like, one, for example, is the best racing game to this day, in my opinion, Super Mario Kart Double Dash. There is no better racing game. I can't think
Interesting.
of
Not even like
one.
any of the Mario Karts?
No, because the whole dynamic between having two people on one cart is so much fun, especially with like the battles and just racing with your friend. Because imagine if you're playing a racing game with your friend, but you're both on the same car. So now there's a whole different level of collaboration involved and teamwork that just makes the game overall fun. And there
Wow.
are some instances where like the person on the back of the car can influence the movement of the car on purpose or not. So then that just adds a whole like level of playfulness depending on the person. It's great.
That actually sounds really cool. I don't
Oh,
think I've
it's-
heard that before.
It's an old GameCube game, which I wish they would just remaster it because it would be so much fun on. Like,
yeah, I'm
the
sure that would
Switch.
be pretty popular too, especially
yeah.
for like nostalgia reasons as well.
Yeah, like they don't even have to make a sequel; they could just remaster it, and it would be amazing.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I don't know how else you could improve that game. I haven't played it in so long because it's on the GameCube, but
Also, I don't remember if this was like a rumor or if it was like a sequel or a remaster, but I heard that they were doing something with like bringing back the Nicktoons racing. If you ever heard of that back in the day,
I've heard about it. I've never played it though.
I think I played it on like someone let me like borrow their DS in like the car once. So
yeah, I remember playing a bunch of those weird games that I would rent from my local video and game rental place, which is still near me. I just haven't been there in years. So I'm expecting that to. It's not even like Blockbuster. It's like Family Video, I think.
I actually have a Family Video like right by my house.
Yeah.
Like literally.
I just
I'm
haven't
surprised
been
like
there
those
so
stores
long.
are still running.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so weird. Except like one time, because it's like right next to the post office. So one time I was out with my mom and she was like getting some stuff done there, and I was just in the car. And during the 5 minutes I was in the car, there were like 3 people who returned their movies, and I was like, what?
Well, do you also have the Family Video where there's like a Marco's Pizza connected to it?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Because that's
Yeah, no, we
like-
don't, because there's
okay.
like a Little Caesars right next door.
Yeah, for a while there wasn't, and then a few years back they added a Marco's Pizza to it, and we had it one time. It wasn't that great, in my opinion, but it's like right there. So I don't know. It was interesting. I should really go back and just look around to see what they have, because they have like next gen console games. Like they have PS4 and Xbox One games. So like
Nice.
I could. I never think about it
Mhm.
because I'm always like so busy.
Yeah.
So
There's actually like a similar. Well, it's not like a renting place, but it's kind of like Goodwill, except for movies and video games and stuff like that.
it wasn't that
And-
Blockbuster though.
No. I don't know, because it's like not, because you can't rent anything there.
Oh, so it's buying. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically buying, and I believe,
Oh.
I think if you kind of donate something there, I think it's almost like a trading place as well. I don't know.
Huh.
I haven't tried that aspect because I don't really have anything to trade in.
Wait, isn't that called GameStop?
Wait, that's actually true.
Is it a lower
just realized this
budget
place is-
GameStop? What would that be?
Yeah, it is, because I think they have
Todd's
like way
Toy
more.
Bin, right?
There you go.
Todd's Discount Toy Bin.
I just realized, wait a minute, this is like, I shouldn't be comparing it to like, I don't remember what I was even comparing it to anymore.
Yeah.
But I should have been saying, oh, it's like GameStop, except it has like Blu-rays and stuff.
Oh, I know something similar to that. I just don't remember the name because it kind of went out of business.
Oh, wow.
I think it was like someplace like Disc Replay or
Because this is like,
something similar to that.
I feel like on the map or whatever, I think that's the exact name because it's called Disc Traders.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know if that's like a similar thing and you're shut down.
I don't know. I don't
Who
remember
knows?
the name, but it had all these like retro games and movies and stuff, and it was so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always cool. to
Yeah,
look at.
it's also weird because like for like one thing, it's really cool because every game, movie, everything is like under $10 basically.
Mhm, yeah.
So that's really great. But it's weird because they also have like an extremely small vinyl section.
Yeah.
And so I looked through it, and it's like, first of all, it's really odd the kind of vinyl they have. Like they have the, I don't know, soundtracks for like movies you didn't even know would have soundtracks on vinyl.
Right. Yeah.
And also they're extremely expensive compared to like vinyls at Barnes and Noble. Because these are like $40, and you go to Barnes and Noble, they're like 20. So I don't know what's up with that.
That's interesting.
Like everything's cheap except for that. So that's
Right.
a little odd.
Those are the money makers. Yeah.
There you go. That's the moneymaker. That's how they make their money.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting how, like, the longer we go, it seems like that things like vinyls and like the old retro games start to become more sought after,
Mhm.
you know, which I think is interesting. But I mean, that makes sense,
Yeah.
you know, because the older it gets, the more valuable it becomes, depending on like how worn it is. So I get that, but and
It's
also
so crazy how like
yeah.
this, all these things that might have been like obsolete 5 years ago are now like
Mm-hmm.
back in pressing. Like you even have like bands selling cassettes of their albums.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Fanny
crazy.
packs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Also, in like that disc replay place, I would always look at the CDs to try to see if I could find like a band or something that I knew, because I'm the kind of person that is like, I listen to, oh wow, I bumped my desk. I listen to a lot of like indie kind of stuff. So whenever I see or hear like a song from, let's say 11D7, I freak out because they're such a small band. Like there was literally, I was in the mall and I heard an 11D7 song play and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's so cool. I think it was one of their Christmas songs though, but I was freaking out because I'm like,
Regardless.
yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's always crazy when you hear like an artist that's not really in the mainstream in public, and it's like, who's in charge of the playlist?
Yeah, that's fair. Probably some Spotify playlist radio.
Okay,
kind of
maybe.
I don't know.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's not like an actual person picking them up. I don't know.
Yeah, that I would think that. Unless you're like Hot Topic, then it's like all Green Day.
Oh yeah, it's all it's all completely supposed to be that. Or maybe they also have like the This Is Green Day playlist going on Spotify.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't like Hot Topic anymore. I
Oh,
used
really?
to be the biggest fan of Hot Topic, and now I'm not. I don't care for it anymore because every single time I go in there, like I'm always looking at the shirts and I'm like, there's nothing here that I like. The only thing that I'm really interested in are like the pop figures.
Oh
which
yeah.
you can get other places.
That's
I don't know. It's just like when I was younger, I always loved that edgy atmosphere, you know.
Uh-huh.
But then I discovered Box Lunch, and my world has been changed.
What's Box Lunch?
Box Lunch is like the wholesome version of Hot Topic, if you can imagine that. It's
Interesting.
right.
So is it like
it's
actually
still,
like
it's still geek culture, but it's not emo, you know, which is kind of nice.
interesting? So it's like I'm assuming the colors in there are more light.
Oh yeah, like whenever I go into Hot Topic, I just get like immediately tired because everything is like black.
Oh,
And so it's just mentally draining. I don't know.
So weird. Also, I don't know why this sticks out in my mind, but like one time I was in a Hot Topic. I don't even remember what I got. But like the cashier just started like belting out whatever song was playing. Like out of nowhere. Like I think it was like Weezer, and she was just like out of nowhere. She was like just bagging my whatever I got there, and she was like, "Cyanide Soul." It's like, okay, sure. as long as you're happy, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, for real though. I heard somewhere that I think the cashier or whoever works there gets to like choose the music that plays.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
That'd be cool. It's like, what would I play? That's the question. 'Cause,
Adler Davidson's album. That'd be really funny to throw that on in a Hot Topic.
I don't think that would vibe too well in that atmosphere.
Well, still, I feel like I would have to just make a video off of that. I got a job in Hot Topic, and now I'm playing the music. That'd be great.
Right. I feel like that there would be some guidelines, though. I
Yeah,
don't know,
most
though.
likely.
Because, for a while, it's like, oh, it'd be cool to work at Hot Topic. Now I'm like, no, I'm good. If I'm mentally drained from being in there for like 5 minutes, imagine me being in there for hours. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, I don't really even go to the mall that often, so I
yeah.
think that's usually why sometimes if I pass by one, I'll just like go in there for like a minute.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever
But,
I go to the mall, it's always like Christmas time, usually. Because that's when we'll do all our Christmas shopping.
Yeah, I think last time I was. Oh wait, no, actually, I was in one like recently because I just had a trip to Chicago that was brief and kind of just went there. But the last time I was like fully in a mall for like an actual trip was like back in Nashville for BlimeyCon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was good.
BlimeyCon was fun in general. That was so long ago. That was August of last year. That's weird to think about.
Yeah, that's like August is just like what,
It's almost April.
counting on my fingers. 5 months away.
Yeah, same.
There you go.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And like ever since that trip, I've been trying to do more stuff like that, like going to events and meeting new people, which is one reason I went to Chicago Sunday, because I went to like a small YouTuber meetup kind of thing, which
that's really cool.
Was so much fun.
I don't think
I met
I have
a lot of cool people. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think I have like a lot of. I don't know many YouTubers who have like meetups out here.
No, that's fair. No, it's because right. Me neither. But like, yeah.
It's usually in like big cities and mainly LA.
Yeah.
Which
fair.
I'm not gonna travel every time there's a meetup.
Huh. Yeah.
Funny story about that though, about like I don't know why I just thought of this, but when I was talking about how, I'm not gonna travel to LA for a meetup. One time, I don't know why I watched these. I don't know if he still even does them, but Jacob Sartorius posted vlogs at some point, and like one of them was like him, and he had a like lemonade stand in LA somewhere in the city. I don't know exactly where, but he had a lemonade stand going on. And in the comments, there was like some foreign fangirl, I guess. And she was like, wow, if I was in your country, I would totally make it over there. It's like, and then someone, like, the first reply was like, America's pretty big, right?
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
For real, though. I don't know. I think one nice thing about not having a lot of my YouTuber friends or YouTubers in general close by is that I can say, I'm the best YouTuber in my state. Don't at me.
There you go, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I dare you to fight me on it. No. But that brings up a conversation of like how good you think your content is versus how it actually is. Because for the longest time I dealt with like this weird negative bias where it got to the point where it's like I hated how I looked and everything. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the point where it's like I know I'm good at what I do, but that doesn't mean I can just stop improving,
Yeah.
So, because like I feel like I've gotten to a place in my creativity where it's like really good, but I also want to do new things and like experiment and improve.
Yeah.
So, which is why I'm doing this like 14-minute analysis video where it's all green screen, because I just wanted to do something different. So. And
now it won't render.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the podcast. Yeah, it won't. For some reason, it just won't. It just won't export. So I have to get this to work because I spent literal days. I spent like an entire month on this one video. I have to be able to export it.
Man.
Like, yeah. And I felt bad because, again, stayed up till 3 a.m. to finish this video for today.
Man.
But it's already almost 4 p.m. and it just won't export. And, like, I don't know what to do at this point. I have a really gutsy move I could do, but I don't really want to take that risk.
What might that be?
And that would be basically deleting half the video, exporting it, then undoing it, then deleting the first half, moving it over. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to risk that. That
I probably wouldn't.
Gutsy. That's too gutsy. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was scared updating this because I thought I was going to lose everything, but I didn't. So that's good. But
that was like the first warning. Like, don't do anything like this again.
So, yeah. This happened one time before, and then I changed the bitrate, and it was fine. But that did nothing. All it says is process finished unexpectedly. That doesn't give me any information at all. So then I have to troubleshoot it myself, trying to figure out, well, what's actually the problem? I don't know.
Wow.
So.
Also, like, another thing about looks on YouTube is I feel like it was oddly enough backwards for me because I am self-conscious, but also, like, when I first started showing myself in YouTube videos, I just didn't care. That sounds really nice.
No, I get what you mean.
But it was weird because now I look back and I was like, was it that hard to just fix my, like, let's fix my hair a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even a hard fix. Like when I could tell, I like just like got out of like washing my hair, and you could tell it was like a wet strand in the middle of my forehead, and it's like, just move it to the side, man. Like,
Yeah, for real though.
so
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, you are your own worst critic. I feel like that's true with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. I've realized this. I think it's so crazy how, I mean, obviously there's exceptions to this, but it seems like that a lot of YouTuber communities are like extremely supportive, almost to like a weird degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Cuz
Yeah.
it's interesting because for me personally, I've taken like some breaks from YouTube, and every single time I publicly did that, the comment section is just like just so extremely supportive, and part of me is like, but why though? In a way, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess I have I guess I have trouble sometimes realizing like how much of an impact like I truly have, whether it be like me personally or with my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's weird to be on like the other side of that fence where you watch creators and you think these things, and then now you're the creator.
yeah,
It's kind of it's a weird little situation
that's
there.
fair. Yeah, it's like I'm as much of a fanboy for people as I am a creator.
Oh yeah,
Truly.
for sure.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
I
Yeah, and then I
it's
think
yeah.
like
Mm.
fans caring, and then with Jack's films, it's almost like the total opposite.
Yeah, that's why I said there are exceptions, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
which well, I mean, like the funny thing with Jack's films is like people do care, but his fan base is so unique where everyone acts like they hate him. It's just
Yeah.
it's such an
because
interesting,
that's kind of like the
thing.
vibe he puts off, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like this weird
really sarcastic and
anti-humor kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Which I think is another conversation of like, it's very interesting how the communities of YouTubers like reflect from the YouTubers,
Mhm.
you know, which makes sense because people like to watch like the people that they like. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird when you meet people, because I'm relating this to BlimeyCon. It's weird when you meet people in real life and then watch their next video. You almost have this weird but different perspective like about the people. Like in
Yeah.
a way it almost keeps you more engaged because you're like, oh, I know that person, you know, in real
Yeah,
life.
for sure.
Yeah. I think that's quite interesting to see. I know that's happened with me and a lot of people.
Mhm.
Like you, Buy Me Cows, and then the person I met Sunday. A lot of people at BlimeyCon actually.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I met a lot of my internet friends. So
Yeah.
that was really cool.
Also, it's interesting to see, creators in person, but I feel like what's even more interesting is to see the commenters come to life. Like,
Yeah. That's true.
at least, like the more you think about it, the more interesting that gets.
Yeah, that's fair. Because all you see is a comment on YouTube. You don't see the person typing it, right?
Yeah. And then there they are, just moving around like a human.
Because they are. Whoa.
Who knew, man?
Right?
These aren't bots.
T-Series.
I was just about to say, honestly.
Wow. Okay. That's
Dang.
fine.
That's great.
I guess
I
T-Series then.
appreciate that when the word bots is said, people just directly think of T-Series. That's amazing. It's great.
So they won, I guess? I don't... Is it, like... Do you know?
No, PewDiePie, I think it's weird because I think T-Series was ahead. Like, it dipped for a second, and, everyone caught wind of that and was like, subscribe to PewDiePie, everyone! And then, like, zoomed ahead again.
Yeah. That sounds
I
right.
just love how the internet just, like, unites
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep him on top. It's kind of amazing.
Do you think he'll get to 100 million before T-Series
just
takes
got-
over?
He just got to 90, so I'm hoping that he gets there.
Of course,
first.
everyone's hoping, right? But
Yes. I do think it's possible.
well, yeah,
Like,
that's
I think it's possible for. I don't want to say it, but I think it's possible for T-Series to, of course, bypass in the end. But also, I think it's still, possible for PewDiePie to get to that point
Well,
first.
yeah, that's fair.
I feel like it's going to be a while because we just experienced the first time T-Series has taken over, and that was only for a couple seconds. So
that's fair.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think it'll
I
be a while
just-
before they're really, really on top.
It's also the point of like, what else can people do? Because we've gotten to this weird point where it's this, it seems like everybody's done literally everything in their power at this point. So what in the world are they gonna do at this point to
You know,
to
Mr.
continue it?
Beast really missed his opportunity with buying a Super Bowl ad.
Right.
Like he was there and like right in front of one of the whatever those things are. I'm not into sports. Haha, sports
Same.
ball.
Yeah. Sports
Go
ball.
sports team.
Do you also say sports ball? Because I say that.
Yes, I do. It's a great word.
Oh yeah. Touch
sure.
the goal, field, basket.
Yes. But yeah, they were like on TV a couple times because like him and a couple friends had, T-shirts like for like each syllable basically like
thought it was
subscribe
blankets.
to PewDiePie. Also, actually, it was funny because of course one of their shirts, because you have one Pew, one D, one Pie. Basically, one of their shirts says die, so you want to make sure that he's always with that group.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, he never leaves. Imagine
I'm
just
gonna
like
go to the
bumping into him.
bathroom, right?
Yeah, he like.
But I feel
someone
like
in
that'd
the
be
bathroom, like-
weirder. No, but think
Yeah.
about it. Imagine like three like grown people all walking into like the same bathroom with those shirts. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be even weirder, right?
Yeah, I feel like maybe like the most normal shirt is pie. I don't know.
That's
Maybe.
fair. Just a shirt with the word
Yes.
pie. I do like pie.
Yeah.
Okay, pie versus cake.
Pie versus cake.
Uh-huh.
Interesting question.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of hard now to think about it.
Really? I mean, that's fair because there's a
Like,
lot
because
of different kinds.
It could, yeah, because it could, yeah, for both actually.
Mhm.
You have different kinds of cake, different kinds of pie. And one time there was actually a pie I had that was like an Oreo pie, which was like practically a cake. So,
That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Because I do like pecan pie. That's pretty good at like Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie. I can roll
Pumpkin
with that.
pie?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Apple pie.
Right. But I
Have
think
you seen Chicken Run?
a long time ago.
Okay. It's good. Chicken pies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But actually,
It's
now I think about it, that was like, what would that even taste like? I feel like that would taste awful. But then I realized, wouldn't that just be chicken pot pie?
right. I love, dude. I haven't had that in so long. That's so
It's good. I
Yeah.
had some a couple months ago. It's good.
Why do I feel like Chicken Run was one of those weird fever dreams somebody had, and after they had it, they just started writing a script, and they're like,
Yeah.
"We don't have the live action actors, so we're gonna use this clay that we found in the basement to make this movie."
Man.
Which came first? Was it Chicken Run or Wallace and Gromit?
Wallace and Gromit,
I
because
think
they
so,
had
yeah.
like the shorts and stuff.
Yeah, I can't think of another. Was it high budget? I don't even know, but I think that was like one of the first like claymation,
Like full length movies.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Because I can't think of any before that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Might
but
be.
I just,
Because I know
those are,
that
really
the
iconic.
Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit movie like came out a couple years after Chicken Run.
Mhm. Just a weird style in general too.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's creepy, borderline creepy, but at the same time it's like it's tough to describe cuz it's clay, but doesn't look like clay.
That's true to an extent, I suppose.
What kind of person names their child Clay? Like why? I don't understand the reasoning behind that. Why? Do you know somebody named Clay? Is that
No,
why you're
I
laughing?
don't. I'm trying. Honestly, I'm trying to think of someone named
Well, I think
Clay.
there's like Clay Matthews, who's a football player, maybe. I don't know.
Because
but-
that name definitely sounds familiar, so I'm trying to
yeah.
think. Like I know there's like some significant actor. I feel like I don't even know.
It's just.
I know that's a
very-
name.
Yeah.
It's a weird name.
Uh huh.
Productions.
Wow, plugging your own channel on your
On
own
my own
side.
podcast.
Yeah. Hey, I already did it first, so I don't really care at this point.
There you go. It's good.
Yeah, but that's weird. How do you feel about people saying, "Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Rate. Don't dislike. Love me, please." You know, that stuff. I always felt weird about that, which is why I normally don't, because I feel like it just ruins the flow of the video, which is why I kind of just let the video speak for itself kind of thing.
Honestly, like, the more when I think about it, I feel like it's just a way to end the video, because I feel like, is that usually how I end my videos? I think. I don't remember exactly.
No, you end it with like the "Thank you to all of my patrons."
Oh yeah. Well, like before that.
I don't know.
Like, at least I'm trying to remember what I did in my most recent Q&A. But yeah. But I could see that as being like an ending. It's like, I don't know how to end this. Like and subscribe. I need attention.
Yeah. That's fair. And well, the other problem is like the topics that I talk about like range a lot. But I think this year I do want to focus more on like indie games and people.
Yep.
Because like, I don't know if you know this, but like the whole point of my channel is like finding the not well known things on the internet that are like super amazing and just letting people know about them and why like they're so great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's just in general, there's always like so much negativity on the internet. So I don't want to be that, which is why I'm not a commentary channel. Right.
Oh yeah. 'Cause like those are usually more bent on, even if they have like a lot of, you know, disclaimers saying, oh, this is we're not meant to attack these people, and some people even are like, don't go to this person's channel and comment hate, please. Which, I mean, at least there's that.
Yeah.
So that at least that's good. Those are the commentary channels I really like, when they're really like considerate like that.
Well, yeah.
But regardless, it's almost kind of weird. It's like, this isn't meant to like, one in particular is almost like one of those. It's like a soft boy commentary channel, in a way, where he's like, first of all, before I start this video, just know that I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. And then he makes fun of them in the video. But, you know.
I'm not trying to make fun of him. Wow, look at his nose! Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much. So that's an interesting thing. So, like, just own your channel if you're going to do that. Like, that's just weird. It's like, it's almost like, how is that not ironic? You're not. I don't know.
Yeah. I just realized recently like that commentary is the one genre that keeps blowing up on YouTube. And it's just like, if I wanted to like truly like grow my channel in the fastest way possible, I'd be doing daily commentary, but I just don't want to do that.
Also, like, your channel is really unique in that way, where, you know, you see other channels like it and they're usually like, you know, making fun of stuff or saying, oh, this is bad. And then yours is showing things that are actually good. So it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's definitely unique in that way.
Yeah. It's tough, though, because I am, not to sound like narcissistic or anything, but like, I think because I'm so unique with like my style and writing and everything, it's very tough to collaborate with people. But also, it is the easiest to collaborate with people because all I have to do is make a video about somebody. Truly.
That is true.
Because, like, yeah.
Also, I think PsychRL once said, you know, making a negative video on someone will get you views, but it won't get you the collabs.
Yep. Exactly.
So, yeah, for sure.
That's very true. It's all about reputation, truly. Because if you're always seen as the guy who was, like, talking bad about people, why would
no one's gonna want to hang out with
you? Exactly, right? Yeah. I finally watched Bo Burnham's specials after the longest of time.
Oh yeah.
I like his first one better, like his older one.
The one called what?
Yeah.
I believe, yes.
Did you watch? Was it 8th Grade? Is that what the movie's called?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've been meaning to watch it.
It's good. It's actually on Amazon Prime if you have that. I'm not sure.
I don't. That's the problem.
Yeah, just find someone who has Amazon Prime and then there you go. But yeah, I've seen it twice. Once in theaters. I was very happy I actually got to see it in theaters because I don't remember if I don't even know. I don't think it was really playing many places near
Yeah,
me.
I don't remember it being in theaters.
Yeah, I think it was more of like a limited release kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so when I was like visiting a friend in another state, like after we hung out, there was like a theater nearby. I was like, oh, hey, they're playing the movie, so I saw it there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really good.
That's good. Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think it's gonna be like everyone's thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like some people might think, oh, it's boring or something along those lines. I
Mhm.
don't know. But you know, if you have the patience for it, it's good.
See, here's the question: do you like it because you might be a little biased because it's like Bo Burnham, or are you saying like in general it's a good movie? Because right,
Well,
yeah, exactly,
I think that,
right.
yeah, like here's the thing, because I do really like Bo. He's a really cool guy, and I thought that like genuinely, because I feel like movies from people who were originally like YouTubers usually aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually pleasantly surprised, because I think I'm usually pretty critical on movies
Yeah.
here and there, and I really like, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I liked it, because I didn't.
Well, to be fair, YouTuber movies are like mostly focused on them. Well, this one is not really.
Yeah, where like he
So-
doesn't even make a cameo. I don't
Mhm.
think.
Yeah. So it is a
Um,
different kind of situation. But,
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I do think like genuinely it's a good movie where, I don't know, if there was like a Bo Burnham fan who somehow didn't know about the movie and you showed it to them and then told them it was from him afterward, they would probably be surprised.
Mhm. All right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I know it's one of those movies that I would be interested in seeing. And actually, there's
Yeah.
this one movie that's out in theaters right now that I don't remember the name of it. However, I'm looking it up right now. However, it looks really interesting. It has aliens. It's
Aliens.
Captain. What's it called?
Marvel.
No. I don't care.
Oh.
I don't want to see that movie.
Ooh.
Captive State. Captive State looks like a very interesting movie.
I don't think I've heard of that.
I know, right?
Interesting.
It's one of those.
Actually, let me-
It's one of those. It feels like one of those like movie theater fillers where it's like, well, we got to show something, right? But at the same time, it does actually look interesting.
That's cool.
It's about, I think it's about like this alien race who invades, and there's like two sides, and it's like, oh, interesting. But I think it mostly focuses on like the one boy who's like not only struggling like internally, but also has to deal with like not dying from aliens or something. I don't know. The trailer made it look interesting.
I just looked it up on IMDb.
Mm.
It came out. When did it come out?
I
March
think it's
15th.
fairly
just like
recent,
a couple days ago.
but that was like 5 days
Last
ago.
week, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It has John Goodman.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is something like definitely not a lot of people know about. It only has like a little over 1,000 reviews.
Yeah.
User reviews, at least.
Yeah, and I didn't know about it because like I was just looking at AMC. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And then I looked at it. I'm like, oh, I didn't know about that. So, to be fair, I don't usually go to the movies hardly at all. So, last time I went to the movies was like probably, oh no, it was Spider-Man. Yep. So that was a while ago.
Not a bad choice, though.
Oh yeah, love that
At
movie.
all. So good.
It definitely deserved that award. Let me tell you.
Absolutely. That one award, non-specific award.
Yes.
Just that one.
I thought it was like best animated film of that year, I think. Because I know
I would agree.
Incredibles was nominated, and everybody was responding with that one Spider-Man gif, and it was so great. I love that so much.
Like, in a way, that like I do love it's like definitely my favorite animated movie of last year.
Yeah.
It's probably like in general actually my second favorite movie of last year, first being 8th grade. Anyone was interested in that. But yeah, really, really good. Although for some reason, like the people replying almost annoyed me just because I really liked Incredibles 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I'm not sure. I feel like as soon as Spider-Verse came out, everyone was like, "Oh, no, the Incredibles isn't good." Even though when it came out, everyone was like, "Yeah, Incredibles is great," and it is, in my opinion. I don't know if a lot of people just don't like it, and I can like understand a lot of the critiques of like maybe it being like too predictable and that kind of side of it for sure. But at the same time, that's something that can be easily overlooked by myself because Brad Bird
Yeah.
does like a really good job with just his writing.
It was a little predictable, yeah. However, I think my main concern with Incredibles 2 was that I think it was Brad Bird or somebody was like, yeah, Incredibles 2 is not a kids movie. And everybody was like, wait a minute, this is Incredibles. This is Disney. What are you talking about? Because they did actually throw out some swears. And I'm like, hold up, what?
I mean,
this is
mild swears, but regardless.
okay, but like it's Disney. So it was that threw me off because I'm like, wait, what? And
Well, I
then
mean, to be fair, those are words that like, I mean, can be used in like a PG movie. Like at least nowadays, like it's not like an '80s PG where you can
I
just
get
throw
it.
out like everything. It's like
Yeah.
more of a like a
Back to the
sanitized
Future, yeah.
PG. It's like, I guess
get
it's
that.
because nowadays, yeah, for sure. But like nowadays, I feel like we barely get any G movies, so there's no distinction between like,
Yep.
you know, as far as you can go in PG and like as soft as you can go. Because like I think people think like MPAA, whoever or movie makers, I don't even know who it is, but I think they think, oh, this doesn't need a PG. But also, if it's rated G, people will think that it's just for babies, and
Right.
I don't know why there's like a stigma around that, but yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, like when something comes out, you know, a PG movie comes out that's actually worthy of being PG, people are like surprised.
I mean, I don't.
Although I will say, like, I feel like that's like the biggest thing people will complain about, you know, who are like those clean homeschooled Christian
don't
Minecraft
at
servers.
me. Yeah.
Don't. No, I'm not trying to.
No, I'm kidding.
But like I think that's like the main thing. Although in you know, in the first Incredibles movie, like you watch that. I watched it like right before the new one. There's like a double feature going on. And I hadn't seen it in a while. And I was like, this is pretty adult. Like the themes and everything is pretty.
Yeah, but it was.
So I just don't get why adding like a word on top of something that's already adult is
That's
a big deal, in my opinion
fair.
at least.
But it was this.
Plus,
it
plus Brad Bird has used those things, those words in like his other, like the Iron Giant. He's used like the
Well,
same kind of stuff, so it
yeah,
didn't
I
really
get
surprise me
that.
that much.
I just
But yeah,
Incredibles, the first one, had this nice balance though, where it's like you had these serious moments, but it was always balanced with this weird element of wholesomeness. And you got that a lot with like the family dynamic and just like Bob in general and stuff like that.
it's something that's like you can't really convince either side because like they have their own opinions and tastes, I suppose, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, to me, I just think people are a little overreacting. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in general, it's tough to change people's minds. Change my mind. That meme.
Change my mind.
Yeah.
What a great meme. But like before Spider-Verse came out, that was like my set movie. Like, okay, this is gonna be the one I'm rooting for at the Academy Awards. But then Spider-Verse came out. I was like, nope, Spider-Verse has got to take it all.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah,
It's actually my favorite Spider-Man movie.
I would agree. Although I've gotten flack for this, but I haven't actually. I've seen some of the first one on TV, but I haven't actually seen the original trilogy.
So like the one with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
Oh, you have to see those.
I know.
I grew up on those. Those were great.
Oh,
Everybody
man.
keeps giving him so much flack, but at the time it was like
Well,
really good
yeah.
because Sam Raimi was like a huge Spider-Man fan, and he was like, I think the main writer or director or somebody. So he was trying to base it off of like the old comics. So it was kind of nice to have like a Spider-Man fanboy working on a Spider-Man movie, you know? And I think that's an element that not a lot of people realize.
Mhm.
And so, I don't know. I always like those movies. I
Yeah.
hate the Amazing Spider-Man double feature, though, because that was... Oh.
Man, to be honest, I haven't seen the second one a lot, but I do like the first one. I think, and maybe like the script might not be that great. It could have been touched up better because I know Sony had their hands in there a bit.
Mhm.
And then I think someone, I think the deleted scenes from that movie because Sony cut them for whatever reason, and people were like, "Why did you cut this out? This would have made it so much better."
Mhm.
So yeah.
I don't know. In Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
There wasn't much creative control going on.
Yeah, I do admit that in Amazing Spider-Man, he played like the best Spider-Man at the time, but he played a terrible Peter Parker. He was way too jockey, and it just didn't work out. He was way too much of a
Interesting.
cool kid, and so it was this weird.
I guess that makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, I did like him, but I can definitely understand being like, well, that's not Peter Parker enough.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Whereas
I don't think Peter Parker skateboards in the hallway.
Exactly, yeah. And I think with I almost said Asa Butterfield, who was a candidate for the new Spider-Man but isn't, which I'm glad about. It's Tom Holland, which I think is that perfect mixture of like the best live action Spider-Man, but also like a believable Peter Parker. He actually looks like a kid for one, which
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And it just works out way
Definitely.
better. So
He's got that going for him.
yeah. Even though he's like 23 or something like that.
Something like that. He looks like a kid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's all that matters.
Yeah. But
Definitely.
I just because we talked about Spider-Man, I just thought of like everybody's excited for the new Avengers movie, and I'm just like, yeah, I still haven't seen the trailers.
Oh, man.
I avoid trailers like the plague because I just don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
That's understandable.
Mhm.
I think I saw the first trailer. I didn't see the new one as of yet. I don't really have any plans to.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, this was a good conversation, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. Yeah. It was very
Definitely.
enjoyable.
So it was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Now to just close up this episode, I tweeted beforehand that MasterEth was going to be on the podcast.
Whoa, such an honor, right?
Indeed, totally. I not to sound narcissistic or anything, but I would definitely agree. But yeah, I asked Twitter if they had any questions, and I got 2 replies.
Oh, you did.
So,
Nice.
yes. Actually, there's 3 questions. One person asked 2. And no, wait. One of them is following me. One of them is from you.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. At Squishy with 2 Y's Snowman, he asks, what was your reasoning for starting YouTube?
Whew. So, for the longest of time, or not even that, basically, I watched my friend Zach make these gaming videos. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so I tried to do it with my terrible laptop webcam, trying to record Black Ops Zombies. It was bad. But that was like my introduction in a way. Because I did gaming for a while and then stopped that because I got bored. And then I started making more original content, which didn't get that great till like late 2017-ish. So, but yeah, it's because one of my best friends was just making gaming videos, so that inspired me. And now here I am doing something totally different.
There you go.
So,
Man.
yeah.
Evolution. Yeah, so for me, my reasoning for starting YouTube would be, I guess, like someone I knew at some point made, or maybe it was kind of just like YouTube videos I saw in general. They made like Lego stop motion videos, and so I was like, hey, I want to do that. So I started doing that, and I did it wrong. It was like I had my first phone at the time, which was like a BlackBerry Torch, and there wasn't like a stop motion app, I don't think, or anything. And so I just used like the camera, and you could record, you could stop it and then press record again, and it would still be like a part of the same clip. which is pretty interesting actually, because I don't think that's very common nowadays. But yeah, so what I did was just start the recording and stop it, and then start it and stop, and that's what I did. And then between each clip, you would hear this,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you've seen them, but
No,
don't.
but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
Although there were actually some good ideas at times, I feel like, which is why I've been contemplating maybe remaking some episodes, but at the same time, I don't know.
Is it worth
but yeah, that's
it?
what made me start. So yeah, and the second question from Squishy Snowman is, where do you want to take your channel in the future?
Well, I feel like, as I stated before, I feel like I know what I'm doing with YouTube, so I'm planning on just continuing that, but focusing more on quality instead of quantity. Because for a while I was doing weekly videos, but that was before I really had a grasp on the direction and like the purpose of my channel. And so now that I finally figured that out, it's been great to do bigger projects like the one I'm working on now, and like the Adler video that's like 14 minutes long, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to continue that. So, yes.
Indeed.
What about you?
For me, it's interesting because I could go with anything. I feel like,
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily go to the extent to say I have a lot of variety on my channel, because right now I kind of just have like two things to do, you know, the Lego videos as well as Q&As and / skits and kind of whatever goes on in there. Which I guess might be variety, but whatever, you know. So I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing at the moment. I've just figured out how I'm making this new Q&A series unique now that I have like a new section for it with the challenges, which I stole from Blimey Cow. But also they don't do that series anymore.
I'm about to say, yeah. Is it really
yeah,
stealing, though?
Yeah, is it really stealing? It's stealing from something that's
Bring Ask
not happening.
Jordan back.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back in my own form. So yeah, and I think that makes it a lot more unique than just like, hello, questions, goodbye. Yeah, so I think it's kind of more unique now.
Yeah.
And it stands out, so that's pretty cool.
That's good.
So I'm going to continue doing that, as well as the Lego Spongy Bobs.
Nice.
There you go. And potentially other kind of Lego themed videos, mainly Batman, although I haven't done one of those since the last Oscars, which that was a good video.
Yeah. That was funny.
But yeah, that's that for me. And finally, also I just realized both of these are actually your viewers. Squishy Snowman actually just followed me as soon as he saw your tweet.
Nice. Yeah, great collaboration, man.
Man, great. It's all good. The next guy, Whitcord.
Hey, Cord.
That's his.
Yeah.
Heyo, there you go.
He's a good boy.
I was just gonna say that's his Twitter handle, then his Twitter name is Cordwit.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. He asks, what secret government foundation are you working with?
In order for me to answer, you have to sign a contract, right? A non-disclosure agreement before we continue on. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Are you going to sign the papers or not? Because, I mean, that's...
Well, Cordwit, we're waiting. Keep recording until you finally...
I was talking about you, but that works too.
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
Here, take these papers. Sign them.
Take these papers. Just waving around your script.
Yes, my, 4-page script, yes.
And I would just have to answer VFD.
Got it.
There you go. Well, I suppose that is all for this episode, unless you have anything to add, Ethan?
Drink more water. That's it.
Drink more water.
That's all I have to say.
Every day. So, yes, you can follow him at MasterEth on Twitter and Instagram. I believe it's the same.
On Twitter, it's Master_ETH, because in 2013, somebody already stole MasterEth, which doesn't make sense, but...
That's like such a unique name.
Right?
Like, why would it... That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that.
Right?
Interesting.
I know.
But yes.
Jerk.
Then you can follow me on Instagram at WeirdName15 and on Twitter at WeirdNameProd, which is WeirdNamePod with an R before the O. There you go.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
Heyo!
Yep.
And stay Ferris.